Hey everyone. Apologies for the lighting, it's just that time of day. But I have two different reading projects that I want to talk to you guys about. They're both going to be happening in February, and one of them might be spilling over into March, depending on how much I get read in February. So I want to do two different videos talking about these, and the first one that I want to talk about is an Oscar reading project, and my idea for this came when I found out that TCM, Turner Classic Movies, is doing their, they do this thing, I think most years, I don't know when this started, but I just saw it for the first time last year. They do this thing where they do 31 Days of Oscar, or they either call it 31 Days of Oscar or 31 Days of Oscars, I don't know, but basically for a month around when the Oscars are, they show only films that either have been nominated for Oscars or have won Oscars. And last year they did different films than they're doing this year. They do kind of a handful of the same films every year, but just, the ones that everyone knows were Oscar winners. And then some films they do, for the films that are lesser known because they only got nominated or something like that, they switch them out every year. And this year they're doing something interesting. This is the first year I've seen where they do it. They're doing a month of Oscar, but it goes beyond Oscar night. It's starting on the 1st of February and going through to the 3rd of March, rather than ending on Oscar night. And the other thing that they're doing differently is this year they're doing them all in alphabetical order. And when I was looking at the list, I realized there are a lot of films on this list that I own the books for that I haven't read yet. So I figured this was a perfect opportunity to read the books, and then watch the films. So the ones, I guess I'll talk about them in alphabetical order, since that's the order that they are showing the films in, so that's the order I'll be reading the books in. First we have Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. I believe they're showing the 56 film of this. I'm sorry, I feel like I have something in my eye. But yeah, I think they're showing the 56 film of this. I don't know if it won the Oscar or if it was just nominated, but this is one that I haven't read yet, and it's pretty short. It's only about 155 pages, and the audiobook I think is just about 6.5 hours, so this will be a quick one, and one that I've been meaning to get to for a number of years now anyway, so perfect excuse for that. And then the next one that'll be a little bit longer is Dr. Zhivago by Boris Pasternak. I have loved this film for so long. The film that they're showing is the 60s film. That's the one that has won either one or several Oscars, I can't remember which, but it has Omar Sharif and Julie Christie. And I first saw it a couple years ago, probably I saw it for the first time when I was in college, and ever since then I try to watch it once a year. For me, it's the kind of film where I can't watch it more than once a year because it's so long. And the funny thing is, my mom is always like, oh, well, I could watch it once every 10 years, which I think is interesting because she likes it too, but for her, it's much longer, I think, or it like drags out a little more. But anyway, I have never read this book. I've been meaning to pretty much, my mom first told me that she read it, when I was probably in high school, and ever since then she's been trying to get me to read it. That and Gone with the Wind she wants me to read more, but since I don't like the movie, I doubt I'll read the book. But anyway, we had this like old battered copy for the longest time, and I just really wanted a nice new copy to read. Unfortunately, the edition that I have does not have an audiobook. I ordered this and I thought that it was the, for some reason, like Book Depository, when I looked at Book Depository, I could have sworn that this was the Pever Volkonsky translation. Turns out no, this is the original translation that was done by, let me look, Max Hayward and Manya Harari, and for some reason this one doesn't have an audiobook, which kind of surprises me. But then I was considering just, still owning this copy, but getting the Pever Volkonsky translation out of the library in both physical form and audiobook so that I could listen to the audiobook as well. But then I looked at some comparisons, and apparently there's, Dr. Zhivago is one of their translations that people are really torn over. A lot of people don't actually like it that much because they say that it's too flowery, like it departs too much from the original text, I think is what they were saying. Anyway, so I really want to try this one on its own, so I'll just read this without an audiobook, try it that way, and maybe just read like 100 pages a day, and it's not that long, so it'll get me through it in about 4 or 5 days. But anyway, so I'll be reading this before this film is shown. Oh, and I should probably explain to you guys when the films are being shown. This one I will probably end up reading at the very end of this month, because the film is on the 1st of February. And then this one I'll be reading directly after, because this film is being shown on the 7th of February. And then, next up, we have The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I don't remember what year the film is that they're showing it, I don't remember what year it was made. But the only one that I've seen is the 2000-something, I think it was 2002 film with Guy Pearce as the main character. And I only watched half of it because I realized that it's one of those things where I wanted to read the book first. And this thing is short. I'll finish this in a day. Maybe less, because I think the audiobook itself is only about 3.5 hours. But yeah, it's only about 100 pages. And yeah, this is one that I've always wanted to read. I was going to read Invisible Man first, but then when I saw that this was on the Oscar list, I realized that I wanted to read this. But this will be a very quick read, and I think my books, or my days between the book films are like 2 weeks in between Dr. Zhivago and Time Machine. So, I'll probably read a bunch of other things in between, but I'm really looking forward to this one, and it should be quick. And then, next we have A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. This one, I believe, is going to be shown maybe 2 days after Time Machine, because they have a lot of T films that they're showing, so this one will be shown a little bit later. But this one I'm really looking forward to because it's been on my shelves for quite a while and I've been meaning to read it forever. And I don't know if there is more than one film adaptation of this, but the one that they're showing, I believe, was made in the 60s. I think. That sounds about right. But anyway, so really looking forward to this book, because I've wanted to read it for so long. Same with the next one, which is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. The one that they're showing, wow, almost hit myself in the head. The one that they're showing for this is the 1935 film, which I believe is considered the most famous and the most well-respected of the film adaptations for this book. And, this is one that I've been meaning to get to for a long time, and this will be my first Dickens of the year. So, yay, really excited for this one. And then one that's kind of an honorary one, but it's not actually on the film list that they're showing this year, is Howard's End by E.M. Forster. I believe that they did show this in last year's selection, but I'm not totally sure. But I've been meaning to read this for so long, and I now have this lovely, better copy of it to read. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this and then watch the film on my own, because I have the VHS tape of it, and hopefully it won't be that bad a quality. I don't know, we'll have to see, but I'm really looking forward to this one. But yeah, this is technically just honorary because it has been Oscar nominated, but they just aren't showing it in this stretch, this particular marathon. And the other one that I was kind of thinking, I'm sort of debating trying Count of Monte Cristo, because that, I believe the 30s film also has some Oscar nominations, or had some Oscar nominations. Maybe, I could be totally wrong on that. But yeah, so I'm sort of debating including that as an honorary one, but at the same time, I just don't know if I could read these, plus that, plus the other project I'll have going. So, I don't know. That is kind of up in the air. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this project, and let me know what you think of my particular selection for these. I couldn't think of any others on their list where I owned the book to read around the film. So yeah, this is the list that I have going currently. So let me know what you think of any of these, and thank you so much for watching, and the next video will probably be about my other project that I'll have going in February. So thanks so much for watching. Bye.